Welcome to another episode of Walailak Global Program. My name is Asst.Prof.Dr. Surin Maisrikrod, Vice President for Global Engagement and Faculty Development. As mentioned before, this program is to disseminate the latest information about our latest research, teaching and learning activities, as well as social engagement related activities. These are some of the key responsibilities of Walailak University, which is located in Nakhon Si Thammarat in the south of Thailand. With me today is Dr. Udomsak Seangow, who is Director of Research Institute for Health Sciences. He is also a lecturer at the School of Medicine, Walailak University. Welcome, Dr. Udomsak. First of all, I would like you to talk a little bit about your institute, which is a very important institute within the context of this university alone. Work do you do there? Can you talk about some of the key research projects, some of the significant projects that your researchers have been involved in?
Okay, well, so the first thing is that our research institute is actually, we are the research support unit of the university, and we focus on supporting our faculty members for the school under the field of health science. So the first responsibility of our institute is that we do the administrative work for supporting the research, especially the research grant. So if some of our faculty got the research grant for external grantor, we do all kind of things about the contract and the document, and we also contact with the granting agency. So that's to help them, to support them to done with the contract, research contract. And our second responsibility is that we provide the laboratory for health science. So we have the lab, around 10 laboratories in our main building in the research institute for health science building, and we also have another separated lab. It is animal lab. It is only one of the two animal lab in the southern region of Thailand. So we can support those who did the experiment on the laboratory animals. And the third responsibility of our institute is that we host the research ethics committee. So that is very important role in doing research in nowadays world. So every research project, every research protocol have to be considered by this committee. So we can ensure that our research in the university conduct by our faculty members are aligned with the international standard of research ethics. We host the research ethics committee for human, for animals, and also for the biosafety. So that is our main responsibility.
Its strength in medical research and medical services. I imagine you have many researchers who are associated with your institute. How many are you talking here? The number of active researchers who are supported by your institute?
Okay, so for the number, our those who use our lab for this year the number is around almost 200 researchers, and also we also responsible for the grant that granted by our university to our faculty members, to our researchers. We are taking care of around 160 internal research grants. So I think roughly our those who use our lab and our service is around 200 researchers in the university, and we have kind of some from outside also, around like 10 or 20 researchers from other department, like other university, to use our lab and our service too.
Given the total number of this university, of this university's researcher at around 600 something, so
Yeah.
200, that's quite a lot.
Yes, yes.
That's quite a lot. Yeah, we are a medium-sized university, if you like, and the fact that you have a lot of people who are associated with institute, that many, up to 200, and also plus outsiders.
Yeah.
So that's a very important role. In terms of grants that you have got and you distribute to support various research projects, this is the grants from national bodies in research body in Thailand or outside of Thailand?
There are two kinds of grants. So one from outside the funding agency. So in that part is for each year is around 20 million baht, and in past all of that come from the funding agency in Thailand. But I think this like few years there are some get the grant from the international collaboration. So it's kind of it's not fully international funding agency, but it's the collaborative between funding agency in Thailand and funding agency overseas. So that we have a growing amount of that kind of grant. So we are more like more international now, and I also know that there are already some researchers submit to the overseas granting agency directly in like in the Eurozone research grant, something like that. So we are waiting for the good news.
And can you name some of the key projects that our researchers are conducting?
Well, so we for the health science, I think we can have like two major kind of research. So one is working in the fields, working with the communities, and another group is working in laboratory. So for the project that working with communities, so we have our researcher from the faculty of School of Nursing. They got a big grant from the Thai Health Promotion Foundation, do some kind of comprehensive research project to improve the health of the community in the upper southern region of Thailand. So that is one of the very big grant that we got.
Any particular age groups you're talking about helping, or in general? Like
Actually, they do with the entire community, so it's all a group. But they also, in their project, they also separate into each group, because each group have require different intervention, different health promotion programs, so that they do very comprehensive work on that. And now they are also publishing the research. They start publishing their findings in the international journals.
So this nursing School of Nursing is doing, in other words, this would benefit teaching and learning as well.
Yes,
I would
it
imagine.
benefit teaching, learning, research.
They would certainly bring students out to the field. And
Yes. I think that they also let their students take part in the research. And I think some of the activity also can be the part of the study, part of the learning activities. And this kind of project is also conducted by our researcher from School of Public Health. But the team from School of Public Health are more focused on the older population and focus more on the occupational health and environmental health. So that is the focus of that. So I think this is the research in the community. This is what we are doing now.
So for the betterment of the public health.
And for another category of projects, so we have do a lot of laboratory work, and most of our like major focus of our researcher is to like search for to find some herbal product, natural product that can have benefit the human can be the candidate for develop into the drug development process. So we have kind of comprehensive supporting system because they can do in we call in vitro in the lab, and also in vivo. What we mean is to conduct the experiment in the animals, and that is very crucial step before you develop that into the drug that used in human. And we also have the school of vet. They are doing some. They are the new school, and they are doing try to use some kind of natural product with the animal, with the industrial animal, the farm animal, and now we have the brand new program about the Thai traditional medicine. So we start doing some kind of clinical research with human. They are using the herb product, the herb regimen that already approved by our Thai FDA, and they try to conduct the research in the human. Yeah.
Are you able to point to some of the breakthroughs as a result of the research projects that the Institute has been supporting, or some of the what we probably call what is known as a cutting edge research projects? Are there any projects that have already produced results that can be considered a medical, breakthrough?
Well, there are team led by the researcher from School of Medicine, Associate Professor Shushat. He is, I think he is now trying to find the new drug, the new substance to deal with the malaria. Malaria is one of the major problems in the tropical country, and I think he's now find some substance, some ingredient from the herbal product that have potential to be developed into the drug for malaria. So I think that is one of the breakthrough. And another team is the Asst.Prof.Dr. Garvit. He is more focused on the method side. So he conduct a lot of research on the like kind of alternative process to extract the active ingredient from the plant product, from the pharmaceutical product. So, and he is very well recognized he published a lot in the international journal, and have the very high index compared with his research experience. That is, he's still kind of early researcher, but he have very relatively high H index in the scope. So that is proof that his method that he are doing is one of the growing interesting in the international research community.
So related to the malaria one. So it's very important because this is still a problem in many parts of the world.
Yes.
So I mean, if there is such a breakthrough, then it would certainly help not only Thai people but other peoples from other parts of the world as well, in tropical areas in particular.
And we have another project that try to test some natural product. It's actually the traditional regimen from the Thai traditional medicine, and this team test is effect against the COVID-19. So this team led by Associate Professor Walailak from School of Allied Health. She is now the research is not finished yet, but I heard from the research team that the result is promising. So they may find some kind of active substance that can treat or can like kind of treat the COVID-19. So
Prevent or treat the COVID-19.
yes.
That would be a major contribution again
yes.
to not only
Yes.
the countries of Thailand or
Yes.
the regions here, but also.
I am waiting for that research for publishing because now it's kind of more like they still keep it secret because it's very important finding if they publish it. Yeah.
So I would like you to, Dr. Udomsak, to touch on the international aspects of medical research, health or health science, broadly speaking. How important is international collaboration in this area?
Oh well, because especially in this time under the pandemic, like we know that the health of someone in some remote country can affect a lot to the health of the people, like in Thailand, for example. So that is one kind of very important that if you just only conduct the research in your country and you didn't aware of something that happened around your country, in your neighboring country or far in the other country, maybe you didn't know the important trend, the important kind of disease are emerging in other place. You just conduct the research on your own, and then so that is why the international collaboration is very important in this kind of situation, and also in general. For example, if we try to develop the drug or the vaccine or some kind of new treatment, sometimes in general and in past, when most of the you know that most of the pharmaceutical companies are based in developed country like Japan, like US, like UK, or some country in Europe, right? And when they try to test their product, they test in their population, and mostly a white, healthy, working age. And sometimes we take their research result as the like effect of this drug can be generalized to other kind of population, but that is not always true. So that's why if we have like if they test the new drug and they also test in our population, in Thai population, we can ensure that the effect are similar or maybe different in our population, and we can get most of this drug, this treatment, if we know the data from our population, from our Thai population. That is another important issue. That's why we need to have the international collaboration in research about the treatment or about the medicine. And another point is that in terms of our capacity building, so we know that the technology, the knowledge are more advanced in the developed country. And if we are not collaborate with them when we doing the research, we are like we kind of doing our research with our own technology, but it's still like relatively low technology compared to their country. And the way to do that is, I think investing in the advanced technology at home is important, but sometimes you need to wait a long time to find the money, to find the budget. But if you collaborate, you can collaborate with them. You can just like send your sample to their lab, and then you get the result. So it's kind of stand on the shoulder of giant. So you did not need to invest everything, and then you can do advanced research too, even you are in the developing country like Thailand. So that is, I think that's my point. That's why international collaboration is very important.
What are some of the countries that we are collaborating with at the moment?
What I know is that we have collaboration with the medical school in New Zealand. I think some also collaborate with some university in Australia, and there are some collaboration with the USA the UK and also some you see in Europe too. And I also see some researchers publish a lot with their colleague in India, in Southeast Asia, and also in the Middle East. So actually, our health researcher collaborate with the colleague all over the world now.
Right. Yeah. As I mentioned, apart from you being the Director of Research Institutes for Health Science, you also is a lecturer at the School of Medicine.
Yes.
Yourself is a medical doctor. Do you also get your students to get involved in research projects as well, or largely on the practicals to be a doctor, or what about the research track of your medical students?
Now because all our medical students are under the special program from the government, that they are like kind of, they need to go back into the health system, working as doctor, treating people in the rural part of their hometown or their provinces. So that is one of the constraints that maybe we still cannot do kind of the pure research track for our medical students. But what we are trying to do is that in our medical program, our medical curriculum, we try to make every researcher, every lecturer, putting their own research in their teaching. And for me, especially, I teach epidemiology in the medical curriculum. So what epidemiology that I teach is actually the research method, and also some kind of past experience on medical research to the students. So we try to groom them to have some kind of research oriented, to be the doctor with research oriented. And what I'm surprised and what is very interesting is that in the last time that I teach, there are two students come to me after the class, my session that year, and asked me to give them some suggestion about what can they do if they want to do the research. What should they do? Where should they start? Something like that. So I think that is the very and no one tell them to do that. So they just come to me and then ask me that if I want to be a researcher, if I want to have some kind of research experience now, how can I do? What should I do? So I have them some suggestion and then let them decide whether they want to do that, they want to pursue that. So that is very good sign of that. What we are doing, having some results, and our students are more interested in the research career, something like that.
And of course, I imagine you also have collaborations with other similar institutes in Thailand, with other universities in Thailand and other health science research institute in Thailand. Is that the case?
Yes. I have personally, I collaborate with a lot of research institutes in Thailand, focus on kind of public health policy or global health. So there's most of them are in Bangkok, but some are in Chiang Mai. So that is my own research. So I need to collaborate with this group of researchers. And we are quite a small group of people. Like, because I am doctor, but I focus on research. And then there are a very small group of doctors that are working on public health research or global health research. So I think we know all us knowing each other quite well, and we quite like narrow circle of researchers in this field in Thailand.
Do you find government agencies or funding agencies are supportive of medical research, health science research in Thailand still?
For the public health research, for the health promotion research, I think they have relatively like a lot of grants on that field. But for the clinical research, for the medical research, what I know is that the first you need to you can find this grant from the drug company. But if you get the money from the drug company, you need to work for them, something like that. So they already have developed their treatment, their drug, their medicine, and then they just ask you to test them with your patient. But the grant is also quite the big grant from the pharmaceutical company. But for the national public agency, public funding agency, I think they still we have I think is still lacking of support on this field of research, because most of the medical researcher, the clinical researcher that I know, are getting the grant from their own institute, their own medical school, or getting from the pharmaceutical company. It's less likely to get from the national research granting agency. But on the public health issue, the national research granting agency are more take more part and that contribute more on that. So that's it. Nature of our funding agency in Thailand at this stage.
And when you compare that sort of funding approach with other countries, is that common across the world, where governments would fund more on public health related projects? Or?
No. I think the country that have very big sector on the pharmaceutical industry, like the U.S., they've grant a lot of the basic research and also the research to develop the new treatment. I think they grant a lot on that, and then I think they are less focused on the public health actually, for what I know, because a lot of health researcher, international health researcher that I know, they always complain that they cannot get the grant from. That is my field. So the public health grant globally in the developed country, especially in country with the big pharmaceutical industry, I think they are focused more on the clinical research. But for the country like us, our funding agency are focused more on the public health issue. I think that is maybe they work on the different incentive.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, Dr. Udomsak, on that note, we are running out of time, and I would like to thank you very much for your participation in the program today. So hopefully we can revisit some of the issues that you have raised today again. Thank you very much for being on our program. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for inviting me today.